Welcome to Six Pack Cinema. On today's episode, we are talking about The Darkest Hour, talking about Gary Oldman dressed up as Winston Churchill, drinking scotch and muttering for an entire 2 hours. But hey, we loved it. Let's dive in.
Dude, you should review movies.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, I've had a couple, so time for movie review.
Oh, hey, how you guys doing?
Doing all right.
Doing well.
Yep.
Yeah? You guys
Starting
having a
off
good weekend?
again. No,
Good weekend, yeah. No, not a good weekend for you, Sheehan?
that was just basic. There was painting some stuff, building some other stuff. Just took a couple of naps. It was pretty good. Olympics is on. That was awesome. I love the Olympics.
I
My
haven't
favorite
watched
time of the year.
any yet. I'm pretty upset.
Oof.
I love the Olympics, too.
Are you Olympic
Sheehan,
guy?
we're very much the same. You love award shows. You love the Olympics. I like all that stuff, too, but I don't have cable at the house I'm in right now.
That sucks.
So those aren't things you struggle to watch. They kind of, you just turn on the TV and they're on and then you nap and you watch them.
Mm-hmm.
So without them, it also sucks not having cable because sports are the same. I used to watch golf tournaments all the time.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy, but I don't enjoy golf to make it a priority.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Fair. I'm pretty excited for this weekend. I haven't had a day off from work since the Super Bowl. So all this weekend I'm just going to lay on the couch and watch the Olympics.
There you go.
Not bad. So and that's only 5 days away.
I know.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
the
I
dream.
don't. The Olympics. I do seek it out, and I am a huge curling fan. I really do love like watching it.
So do I.
Last night, though, oh my God, there was the women's snowboarding. It was carnage out there. They actually delayed it an hour and a half or 2 hours because there was a heavy gust of there was 15 knot wind going up the mountain, and they decided to push through it. And some of the girls, I think only 6 or 7 of all the runs completed the full run without wiping out.
Nice.
It was insane. And some
Cool.
girls,
That's fun.
Some girls they did the first run and they're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going down twice.
Wait, did y'all see the Russian girl figure skater or ice dancer or whatever it is?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it. I heard about it today that she is in second place for all-time scoring technicals and all that.
Yeah, no, that was stunning what she did. You know how they lift up their back leg and they hold it and they spin. Mm-hmm. Well, she did that, and then she just put her hands in the air with her fucking ankle was by her neck. I don't know how she did it. I think I want to say maybe she hooked her skate to her necklace or something because there's no chance in hell that you're able to keep your leg like that. Maybe you are. I don't know. She's super flexible. But yeah, no, it was.
If she hooked it onto something and was stuck like that, it'd be hilarious if she fell.
It would be. Yeah, but
Couldn't even get up.
There was no chance this girl was making a mistake that time. Oh, it was really something. I'm not a huge figure skating guy. I'll watch it. I don't hate it like other people it's girly. I think it's pretty cool actually.
When it's good, it's cool. I think
this
but
one made you
sometimes-
I put my phone down. And I was like, oh my God, what is she doing?
Okay, I definitely need to actually seek out the video of it then.
And she's beautiful. I'll just say that.
She's 15.
There we
No,
Yep.
no, she can't be 15.
Tough break, John.
No, she can't be 15.
Johnny the
No,
pedophile.
Wow.
we're googling.
Well, I'm going to tell your daughter in 2 months.
We're googling because you have to be 17 to be in Olympics.
I don't think so.
Yes, you do, you dipshit. Come on.
All right, well, let's go on. Let's move on to Darkest Hour while John erases his fears that he's a pedophile.
All right, Jimmy, what do you think of Darkest Hour?
18 years old. She's 18.
Well,
Nice,
then my
much better.
coworkers were wrong.
Yes.
Darkest Hour.
Sorry.
Darkest Hour. I loved it. I was a history major in college. I enjoy World War II. I enjoy dialogue-heavy movies. So I really enjoyed watching it, and I think it's really well made. But if anyone was to tell me, hey, that movie was kind of boring and self-indulgent or whatever, if someone else knocked it a little, I'd be like, okay, yeah, fine. I think it's very genre-specific movie, but I like that genre, so I thought it was really good. Gary Oldman's amazing, and it was much... We'll get into more later. But for now, yeah. Liked it.
I'm on the same page. I fucking love that movie. But I could also see, like you were saying, if people were like, oh, it was slow, it was boring, I'd be like, all right, it's just not for you. But for fans of that type of movie, I loved every second of it. I was actually worried going into it that I was going to fall asleep. and I was just awake the entire time. As soon as it started, I was just hooked. So I had a great time watching it. Sheehan?
I liked it a lot. I'm a big history guy too, but I will say it dragged. It's definitely not getting 5 popcorns out of me because at certain points I was thinking like, why did they make this movie? I was talking to Jimmy earlier. I think it's a little bit of Winston Churchill fatigue on me right now because we've had this, Dunkirk, and the Crown last year. So Winston Churchill's been big in the streets the past couple of years, and this one it was very, very good, but it wasn't like I was like, oh my god, I'm learning this for the first time. You know?
Which is crazy to me that they all came out around the same time because they're all in production at the same time. So that it's different studios in production
Peaky
at the
Blinders,
same time, so that you don't think like it's not like there's a huge craving for Winston Churchill movies. It's just 3 separate studios were like, oh, this is a good story, or 4.
Yep.
Said this is a good
Peaky
story.
Blinders.
We should do it.
I don't know the actor that plays him in Peaky Blinders, but he's a reoccurring role
Is
in
he?
Peaky Blinders as well.
Nice.
He's in at least 3 episodes.
I gotta
He
start
hires Shelby as a assassin.
Even more so. How about that?
that. Awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Winston Churchill's a crazy guy.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hop into our deep dive then. What did you guys like and dislike about the movie? Sheehan, you go first.
I liked how they made it intentionally almost stale because it just fit the mood. You know, it's not you're not supposed to have Parliament be exciting. There's a lot of old men yelling at each other, and there was I don't know. It just the tone of it felt right, but the tone of it felt like sucky too. But it was all it was. I don't know. I'm not using my words really well right now, but I like the feeling of it, despite it being depressing. How's that?
Okay. Good.
That's
Jimmy?
one good thing.
The visual and style of it, I was not expecting. It was really, really fun to look at. Like the opening shot when they're swooping around, the end shot when he's walking out of Parliament with the hats. Like you said, that Parliament room is pretty boring, but the way they use the camera to pan everyone's faces, and then like when he was in the elevator, it was all dark around him, or he's in the tunnel, it was all dark around him.
There's a couple times when we got the aerial shots of when like the French were evacuating, and then I'm blanking on the name of that last base that was about to get bombed. But both of those, I thought those shots were beautiful too.
Mm-hmm.
When the little kid was looking through his eyes at the plane, and then he closed it, and then went to darkness. Like that was some really cool directing and cinematography that I didn't expect from this movie. That was just a biopic. Usually biopics they're kind of story heavy and character heavy. And I think this was more style, cinematography, dialogue, and the story was maybe the weakest part of the writing. The end was corny. Like the third act was pretty corny. It won me over, but I'm going to say it was corny as well. Like when he's talking to the citizens and shit.
Oh,
on the
that's
train.
my favorite scene in the whole movie.
Absolutely.
I was
I
tearing
loved it.
up with them. It was,
I teared up,
That,
but it was corny.
I wouldn't call it corny. I
would, but
When
we've been over this.
We
I love
want to
corny.
fight. They're like chanting "fight." It was a little corny. It felt a little Disney.
All right, the reaction and the chanting, yeah, that was corny. But I love the fact how earlier in the movie he said that I don't even know how to boil an egg. I mean, I might because I've seen it done. He's never been on the bus. He's never been on the streets. Like so, for him to just realize he's like, you know what? I'm out of touch with all this shit. I'm listening to all the wrong people, and just kind of like waltz down there. I thought that was awesome. You know, obviously that was a true tidbit. I'm assuming, right?
I believe so.
I don't know.
For the sake of this,
I thought
argument,
it was awesome.
Entirely true. So
Yeah.
I
Good on him.
teared up a little, and then I kind of like kicked myself, like, damn it, that corny scene just made me tear up a little.
it worked. That's why. It was
It was
Yeah,
incredible.
no, it definitely did.
If I had a bunch of
I
roses
actually
on me,
liked
I'll be
the
throwing it at
scene-
the screen, just throwing roses. So I was like, this is beautiful.
You got figure skating on your mind.
I did, yeah.
I liked the scene with the king when the king finally like sided with him and said, "I need you to do this or whatever." You know, I'm on the same. I agree with you.
Yep.
That scene actually was a little more powerful. I didn't tear up, but I thought it was really cool.
Even the scene right before that, when the king was just talking to whoever his advisor was, and he was overlooking London from the palace, and saying how he was worried that this might be the last time he sees it, either from exile or death. That shook me a little bit. I just got
Let's just
goosebumps
talk
thinking
ab-
of that scene again.
Let's just talk about that in general. The whole world, maybe not the whole world. Americans don't know a lot about history at all, like even American history. I doubt the common American knew how close Britain was, or England, whatever, was to surrendering to Hitler.
Yeah.
They had surrender plans in place.
Well,
that is not a common fact.
Well, that's because
In America.
World War II started at Pearl Harbor. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
What did you think? How did you think it made the Americans look? How we wouldn't help them, and then
Douchebags.
the horses dragging. Which is,
I mean, it's
you know what?
accurate.
Like it sucks
That's-
because we're American, but good for them because there's so many American war movies that make the British people just look like utter fools and doofuses.
I don't know. This one did a pretty good job of that too. Half of Parliament looked like fucking doofuses.
Yeah, but
Maybe we'll just reason with Hitler. He'll listen to us. He'll let us keep our independence. Totally fine.
Yeah, how dumb is that?
Super
that's so
dumb.
fucking. And he kept yelling at them too, being like, "You can't negotiate with a tyrant. You can't appease them. I warned you 10 years ago." And they're like, "No,
Yeah, I
but
mean-
this time it's gonna be okay."
At this point,
This
we
guy's
didn't.
different. He's worse.
And at this point, they didn't know half of the bad shit that was going on. They didn't know about the camps. They didn't know about like the extent of the killing of the Jews. You know,
Yeah.
what was apparent was that he was taking over fucking Poland and Belgium, and like that's not okay. Even in 1940, that was like we were under a real civilization back then. You can't just play Risk. You can't just play a board game and say I'm taking this country now. In no way, shape, or form should you be reasoning with that man.
It blows my mind, maybe because we're Americans and also because it's 2018 and shit. But the fact that that was even a thought, like he was like, "Hey, let's go own that country. Like, let's just march in and take over that country." That's a crazy thought.
Yeah.
I mean, Russia just did that like 2-3 years ago with some of the Eastern.
Yeah, but I'm saying we're in America.
Yeah, Georgia.
Well, yeah.
Those Russian, those people, it still may be common over there.
Yeah.
For us,
yeah,
it's insane.
That's never happened here. But
Yeah. I mean, I guess I always kind of thought that Britain or London, England, whatever you want to call it, I thought they were okay because they were a giant island. You know, how hard is it to defend an island? They laid out perfectly why it's so difficult. You know, you have the air power. They took out the Air Force and they had no soldiers. All you had to do was drive a boat up to the dock and you're invaded.
yeah,
Who knew?
who would have thought you need defenses of the docks?
Yeah. I have one glaring question that I suppose I could Google to find out. I feel as though
I know it.
I'll give you an answer. I probably don't know it, but I'll argue that my answer is the right one.
I felt as though they were kind of glancing over the fact that somebody decided it was a good decision to send your entire fucking army to France. At
Yeah.
what point do you think,
Not a
like,
good
let's keep
decision.
100,000 home, just in case?
I don't know if they were all in France or if they had been retreating back through the rest of Europe into France.
Regardless, though, they had nobody left. Their entire
Yeah, they left no one to protect the home front.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree that that's stupid, and they were probably thinking, oh, we control the waters, and Hitler didn't have aircraft at the time. So
Yep.
they're
But
like,
at-
oh,
but
like
at a
we
certain
control the
point-
waters, we'll be fine.
It's not like they were started retreating on like a Tuesday and they were at Dunkirk on Wednesday. Fucked. They saw what was happening. You
Yeah.
can see there was a slow march from the Germans out. You got
Well, I mean, that's why
your
Chamberlain
horses a
got
little bit.
kicked out.
Yeah. I don't. It's
Dude.
I found that to be like completely mind blowing how they had nobody there.
Yeah.
They didn't show it. We saw it more in Dunkirk, but being a soldier on that beach for like whatever it was, a week, 2 weeks, fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck being in a war, I guess, in general.
That was miserable. Thank God for that movie too. That
What'd
put
you
that
think
put it
of-
all in perspective. To be honest,
Yeah, Dunkirk was like they're a nice companion piece.
it really was.
Because also you hear his speech at the end, and in this movie it's a great speech that pumps the nation up, and in Dunkirk that speech kind of falls on deaf ears with that soldier at the end on the train, kind of like, dude,
I really
we
got to
just
see
went through
that.
hell.
Yeah, you do.
You still haven't seen Dunkirk?
No, I still haven't.
You got to
Oh.
check that one. That's a good one.
I know. But although when they first showed all the boats going towards Dunkirk, I kept thinking, oh, there's going to be a title card that'll pop up, be like, now see Dunkirk, and come back to this movie.
Yep, little wedge that one in there.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the typist and her role in the movie?
I liked it. It was a good way to ease people in to Churchill. I felt like you needed that character who I have no idea if he actually had someone like join him right before he became prime minister, but you needed someone there to get to know him a little bit. Yes.
Because anytime she's like, is he usually like this? And then the wife or coworker says, don't talk to him now. What, you know what I mean? Like that is, she was the audience every time. Whatever information she was getting about him was the audience getting information about him. So
yeah,
I feel like that was her sole role. But they had some good moments
Yep.
in the end when they're together underneath and shit like that. Like it was actually worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I really liked when she was telling him that this meant up your bum instead of V for victory.
That was incredible.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a
good.
great scene when he just starts cracking up and dying in there.
How she was embarrassed to tell him, and he couldn't have been more tickled by that.
Yep, tickled's a good word.
Yep. This is because it's 2018, and my mind goes right to this, but she's could definitely say she's a Me Too girl after that first scene, him getting out of bed. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean that is
Probably.
it's not good.
Problematic for your employer to just flash his junk to you on the first half hour of your employment. Not a good
Do we
start.
need to talk about Gary Oldman? We haven't even really waxed
we do
poetic
need to talk
him.
about him.
He's
He's
incredible.
fantastic.
He's amazing. Who's he? He's up for the Oscar for this, right?
Yeah, he's gonna win.
I think
Yeah,
he's
who's he
gonna
up
win.
against?
Who?
He's up against
Sam
Daniel
Rockwell?
Day-Lewis.
Fuck that movie.
Yeah, the guy from Call Me by Your Name, Timothy Chalamet.
That kid's a rookie. Boo.
Then the Get Out kid,
Okay.
No, that's not a real movie.
and then Denzel, which is a token chip.
Oh yeah. So
He's
Gary's
got it.
this. Yeah.
He's
All right.
definitely
good.
got it.
He deserves this.
But I don't think he's the best Churchill in the past 2 years either.
Who do you think?
I
is better?
do.
I thought the Lithgow last year was a much better Churchill.
That role had to be a lot easier than this. This movie was all dialogue. And it makes sense because Churchill was an orator.
Yep. Yep.
But there's a lot of performing going on.
I
There's a
am
lot
not
of-
I am not discrediting him at all. Like it was amazing what he did, but I'm just saying I liked the way he Lithgow talked better. I will hand up. I could
You're a
use
Lithgow
subtitles.
fanboy.
You what?
Oh yeah,
I could use some subtitles.
could have used subtitles.
Yep.
It kind of
Yeah.
like forced you to actually listen though, because the first few minutes, I was like, "Oh, what? Like, I'm gonna miss half of what he's saying."
I
But
don't know, Dave. When I go to movies, I usually think I'm gonna listen the whole time.
no, but you know what I'm saying. This forced you to like pay attention way more than a lot of people normally would.
Okay.
The average movie goer watches movies passively; they're not actively engaged with it.
That's sad.
Yeah, but this kind of forced you to do it. Although, I'm not gonna hate on subtitles. I am #team subtitle.
I am against them,
Yeah.
but I could have used them here.
Yeah, subtitles are amazing. They're
It's the best thing.
When I download movies, I download the subtitle and put them both on my computer at the same time now.
Absolutely.
Just better.
Yeah, but yeah, back to Oldman. His facial expressions with his mouth especially was spot on with all the photos I could find of Churchill. Like he looked like a duckbill face.
Yeah,
You know,
I was,
and that
very
wasn't
impressed.
prosthetics. That was his own, manipulation of his own face. So that's tough to do. So he was doing a lot of physical acting on top of the dialogue.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was very impressed with how well he was able to emote under like the prosthetics and everything he had to wear.
Yep,
That
there's
was
a lot of
incredible.
prosthetics.
For sure. It made him look like he had 70 extra pounds on him.
It looked miserable.
Yes, but I'm
probably
sure
added to it.
Gary Oldman actually was miserable walking around and all that.
It added to the
I
whole
think he
whole
likes it.
aspects of it.
Every role he takes he doesn't even look like himself.
Did you guys ever see Tiptoes?
No.
Do you know what that one is?
No. What is it?
They at the time in the trailer it says Gary Oldman's crowning achievement or something like that. He played a midget or a dwarf.
What?
Yeah, no, it's the most offensive movie of all time. They have people playing dwarves and midgets who aren't really that, and The
They
movie-
couldn't hire a
The
midget,
movie's
a
called
dwarf?
fucking Tiptoes, man. It's about a guy marrying into a dwarf family, and it's
Oh, I've seen the trailer for this movie. It looks wildly offensive.
yeah,
When is it from?
like I
the
think
90s, right?
2000 no 2004 I think it is.
Oh,
Holy shit! 29% on Rotten Tomatoes, 4.7.
that's kind of incredible.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna watch
I-
that this week.
So whenever I think Gary Oldman, I always revert back to Tiptoes. But yeah, hopefully
How was
this
he?
Hope not good, because he's playing a dwarf, man. It's the whole time you're like, wow, you're an asshole. But so hopefully this will start taking my mind off. I'll see him and I'll think Commissioner Gordon and Winston Churchill, not Tiptoe.
I don't know. I'm kind of Team Tiptoe. I haven't even
Yeah.
seen it, and I support that film. Six Pack Cinema officially supports Tiptoe.
No. I just want
It's got Matthew McConaughey in it.
Yeah. So you know
He's
it's
the guy
good.
marrying into it, right?
Yep. That was before he did anything worthwhile. That was still his little chick flick stage.
You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
just watched
before he
the other
did
day?
before he did anything worthwhile, when his first character and movie ever was Dazed and Confused.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. Whatever.
Say something more dumb.
I saw How to
you.
Lose a Guy in 10 Days recently. He's pretty good in that. For like a stupid
course he's-
bullshit rom-com, he's very good in it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Bullshit rom com. Yeah, I like it. I'm just saying, once he did True Detective, he went full blown actor.
Nah.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
He absolutely
No,
did.
no, you just haven't seen A Time to Kill. So
Or Sahara.
Okay, I haven't. So sorry.
yeah,
Excuse me. Excuse me for having
that
an
was
opinion.
in
assholes.
that was in 1996, and it's a very serious role with Sandra Bullock, and they both went on to only make rom-coms until
Recently.
Blind Side and True Detective came out.
Okay.
So the money is
Did you guys have anything you didn't like about the movie?
Probably
the King
King was
had
okay.
a lisp because that actor has a lisp. That dude is from Australia. He's great,
Well,
great actor, like him.
Well, that King
Didn't-
had a speech impediment to anyway, so
Yeah.
speech impediment. He had a stutter and a stammer, not a lisp.
yeah, that's true. I didn't pick up on the lisp, to be honest.
Really? Did you ever watch
neither.
Bloodline?
No.
Yes. Well,
Well,
half
you know
of
the
it.
Danny, the brother that's the troublemaker. Ben Mendelsohn is his name. He's from Australia, I believe.
Oh shit, was that him?
Yeah,
I didn't even realize that was him.
yeah. He's got like a lisp in real life, so it's kind of weird.
Oh, okay.
Do you not know who we're talking about?
I do, yeah.
I think you'd know him, Sheehan.
Probably would.
He's in Star Wars.
Oh.
He was he's the bad guy in Rogue One. Director Krennic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which
kinda
that's where I
took me out.
recognized him from. I just realized. The entire movie I was like, where's this guy? What have I seen him in recently? It was Rogue One.
Just like Churchill, we've seen so many people play the king before, and I thought he was
Weak.
the most ill-fitting choice.
Yep.
But it's not really a complaint at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I had none. I had a great time watching this. Sheehan, you seem to like it the least. You still like it, but the least? Any
well,
complaints?
I wanted to bring up that Halifax character. The guy who was basically the bitch of the whole movie. He
Yeah.
was, yeah, he was, I wrote down, he wanted to do nothing but do nothing.
Yeah, that guy sucked. He was.
I kept wanting someone to be like, grab him and shake him and say, "You're trying to side with the Nazis.
Well,
You're
no, even
going to
before
jail,
that-
you traitor."
Even before that, they were like, hey, Halifax, would you be up for the prime minister position? And he's like, no, it's not my time. Doing
I
nothing.
believe he turned it down because he thought they were going to lose, and his plan is they're gonna lose,
Still.
sue for peace with Germany, and Germany would be like, well, you have to elect a new prime minister, and then he'd get it. He didn't want to be the person who handed over England. He wanted to be the person who took over after.
Yeah, but see, okay, short-sighted because that would never fucking happen. Hitler would just take over. And B, it's,
Hitler,
again,
Hitler
doesn't
like,
matter what his
installed
reasoning was.
Puppet regimens all the time. He just
Yeah.
wanted to be the puppet.
Yeah, but doesn't matter what his intentions were. He chose to do nothing, and then when he was under the war cabinet, he chose to do nothing all the time, except for try to get this guy on on record as saying he wouldn't negotiate. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It was he was the most hateable person by a mile. I know what he was supposed to be. He was supposed to be like the antagonist, but I don't know. I walked out of the thing like I wanted to punch him in the face several times.
I thought it's funny how they show that the one side wouldn't cheer unless the old prime minister waved his napkin, or whatever.
Yep.
And it's like, geez, what are you, a bunch of children? You can't even have your own opinion. You only cheer if this guy tells you to cheer. Like, you just listen to the speech, decide for yourself if it was a good speech or not. That is exactly how politics is right now.
I was gonna say, Jimmy, you watch
1000%.
you watch the news, right?
I was gonna say, did you not see the State of the Union?
But this movie made it seem like they were dumb and childlike, and really pointed out, hammered home how stupid of a philosophy that is. And it's still to this day how politics works.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Only cheer.
Well, that's
if
depressing. I'm depressed.
your side is allowed to cheer. It's pathetic. Mm-hmm. All right, should we go on to scores?
All right, let's do it. Let's hop into our reviews. Critical score. What are you guys giving it? Sheehan, you go first.
Critically, I'm giving it an 80%.
80?
That's pretty low, no?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Because I usually start off True Stories at a C, a 70, and they have to wow me way up there. I mean, it was good, but nothing grabbed me about it. I felt like there was some certain holes in it, like the family thing. We didn't talk about that, but the whole on his birthday or when they were toasting the prime minister, this family was fucking miserable, and they kind of never touched upon that. Aside, I don't know.
The speech was the speech that his wife gave was, we sat back because politics was always going to be your first love, ahead of your family, ahead of your love for me, and this is the day where it all
paid off,
makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, but kind of
they showed the son like reluctantly giving a cheers, like, "Yep, this has been awful."
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I thought that they put that in there, and it could have been a really strong scene if they built upon that, but they didn't need it. It was weird. But that's one scene out of a few. I don't know. I just walked out of there, and I was thinking hard about it. I don't think I can recommend this one as a must see by any means. It was.
Well, I think that's because of the genre.
No, yeah. I know. I understand that, but I can't give it like I was a range from 80 to 85. So, but I can't give it much higher than that because if it's 90, that means I'm telling you got to see it. If it's
all right,
I just.
That's a fair way to look at it.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to defend myself any more than that, guys. 80.
The segue's fine because you said 90 is something you have to recommend, tell everyone to see. I gave it an 89.
Okay.
Critically.
All right.
Because I thought it was impressive. Dialogue, acting. The acting's superb, and I thought the camera work and the style of it was really, really well done. So my critique score was 89.
Okay.
Okay, I apparently loved it the most. I'm going 93. Same score I gave Lady Bird. I thought this was technically much more of an impressive film. I was more engaged with the story. It was less emotional, but I was more engaged with it.
It's
And
10 times better.
Sorry, what were you saying?
It's 10 times more impressive than Lady Bird technically. That's a good word to say to describe like what that's what makes my mind jump up.
Yeah. Just on all the technical fronts, I was wowed by this film. And I know because it is such a genre film that's kind of bringing it down a little bit. But I'd even tell fans who, or people who aren't fans of the genre, I'd be like, give it a chance. It's very good. You should give it a chance.
Well, 87%, that gives it an 87%, which makes it our 4th highest ranking.
So that's fair.
Nice.
Stranger Things, Mudbound, Disaster Artist,
Lady Bird.
and Lady Bird are higher.
Okay.
All right.
Can I just say, you guys said it was technically really, really, really well done, which I agree. It is nominated for 4 technical aspects.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well, it's going to
production
lose to
design.
Blade Runner because Blade Runner is incredible.
Well, it's production design, cinematography, costume design, and makeup and hair.
Yeah, I didn't expect this to be a cinema. I don't think a lot of biopics are usually up for cinematography.
Yeah, so you mentioned that earlier with like the plane shot and stuff. So it's not favored to win in any of these except for makeup and hair, which obviously it's got to win. It's either that or Wonder, the messed up face kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That may also be the widest margin of our 3 scores.
Really?
I don't know.
Sorry.
All right.
You guys were 93 to 80. That's 13 off. That's a big gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. Normally we're much closer. I think besides Happy Death Day. I gave Happy Death Day much higher than you guys.
Yeah.
I had such a good time with that movie despite falling asleep and missing the beginning.
Yeah, you... Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Popcorn.
oh yeah, never mind. That doesn't wrap anything up.
No, it doesn't wrap up anything.
We just
4.
talked about it for so long.
Yeah. 4.
5.
4.
5.
So 4 it is.
All right.
I gave 4, Sheehan gave 4, Dave gave 5. 4 it is.
All right, I'm okay with that. What are you
enough.
guys going to drink if you're watching this again?
What's easy?
Easy for me, too. Just whiskey.
Oh,
Scotch and soda. I'm drinking the whole time.
cigar and champagne.
Wow, cigar's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I loved that line. I'm going to use it all the time when he's having lunch with the king. And he's like, "How can you drink at lunch?" It's practice.
Yeah. I also loved when the wife was yelling at him, being like, "We're broke. We can't afford to pay our bills." He's like, "Well, economize. Down to 4 or 5 cigars a day."
Yeah. Yeah. I one thing I picked up was when he was going through the crisis at the end and he wasn't sleeping at all. It threw off his whole routine because he would scotch and soda in the morning, then champagne at lunch and dinner, and then he would have regular scotch throughout the night. And when you don't fall asleep and you just keep sipping scotch, you become shit-faced. So that's why he was mumbling and bumbling at the end when he hadn't slept yet. No, he was drunk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
that'll do it.
sorry, you don't sleep, then you don't get the time to sober up.
All right. Well, on that note, that wraps up our review of Darkest Hour. Let's hop into our weekly recommendations. What have you guys been watching? Jimmy?
Same shows I said last week or earlier, Waco and American Crime Story, Versace. But I'll just talk about Versace right now. It's the most uneasy I've ever been after watching a show. Maybe Black Mirror, but it's kind of different because Black Mirror is so futuristic and a little fake that you're like, okay, that's crazy, but at least that's fake world. Where this is a true story based on true crimes, where this serial killer was going around killing people, and I really don't like it, but I like it.
Have you seen Zodiac?
Yeah, but
That made me. That's how I'm picturing that feeling I had watching that. Sounds like what
this
you
is a
have.
little more immersive because it's Zodiac. You're talking about movie.
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah, so this is every episode. Like they really go into his victims and the whole day with them and how it happened. And there was one victim that was just brutal for me. Like it was like fuck.
You said it's Versace. What channel is it on?
To FX.
FX. It's one of their enthralled. They did O.J. Simpson last year.
Oh, I really
American
like
Crime.
the OJ one.
Well, now they're doing the
Versace?
killing of Versace.
Yeah.
Okay, I might start that this week if I can find some time. Sheehan, what are you watching?
You might tell by my tweets. I've watched it twice this week actually, late night. King Arthur.
Oh yeah,
Is that good?
It's really good.
I've heard it's a lot better than people gave it credit for. I haven't seen it.
Critically, no. It's got. I'm gonna give it 6 popcorns though.
Yeah.
It's entertaining as hell. Gets kind of confusing because they're really trying to drive home the fact that King Arthur is really, really smart, and he's he's very good at reading people, and he's a leader among men and all that good stuff. But they splice together him creating a plan, and he's saying well, you're going to do this, and then he's going to say this, and I'm going to say that, and I'm going to say this, and they kind of splice that into it. It's a good way to do things. It's funny. They did it 3 or 4 times throughout the whole movie, and it's just one will do.
I feel like Guy Ritchie goes to that tactic often. I think
Yeah,
I've seen
the
that
quick
in a few of
montage.
his movies.
Yeah, no,
It's very British. They Simon Pegg do it in their movies too.
yeah, but you need one big scene to do it, and that gets it across. When you tread over to the 3rd time, it's like, dude, I mean, we get it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But that's my only really critical complaint. The sound is the soundtrack is just amazing.
Guy Ritchie did definitely two great movies, and then he started getting paid to do, Sherlock Holmes and.
I like the first
and-
Sherlock Holmes. Like, it's not an amazing film by any means, but it's a fun movie
It
to watch.
doesn't compare to Lock, Stock, or the other one I can't think of right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but it's a good time.
All right.
If we I don't know, kind of want to say like, hey, I love the soundtrack so much, I wouldn't mind like swapping it in for our theme music. Just saying.
For today,
No, like just for our intro. It's so
He just
cool.
means in general.
It's just so cool.
I gotta we'll have to hear it.
It's listen. It's
decide.
basically it's a bunch of guys like it's like heavy breathing and whistling. It's so weird, but I love it.
I feel like that doesn't fit the tone of
doesn't-
this
it-
podcast at all.
Probably not. I'm just telling you what I like. I'm like that like giddy kid who puts a bumper sticker on everything. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I tweeted at you. Have you listened to the Black Panther soundtrack yet? I was disappointed by it.
I'm waiting for it to come out.
I listened through it like 3 times, and there's only like 2 songs I actually like on it, which is disappointing.
I listened to the soundtrack to Guardians of the Galaxy like heavily beforehand, and it kind of took me away from it because I was listening for the soundtrack like during the movie. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till after I see it to
All right.
do that.
And all right, in a couple weeks, then we should talk about that. Just
I
even
think
if
we
it's
should.
off air. I'm curious your thoughts on it.
Okay.
I have been watching Altered Carbon though. Anyone likes film noir or sci-fi? This is a sci-fi futuristic noir. It's pretty interesting.
I'm scared
I like
to
it.
watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think some people, the reviews I've read, they were upset. It's not like very deep and thoughtful. It's more actiony and not actiony because it is a noir, but I don't know. Some people were upset that it wasn't what they thought it should be, but I've been enjoying it. I'm 1.5 episodes in, and I've read the book too. It's solid.
Oh,
And
wow.
don't listen to the whitewash castings, people bitching about that, because it's for those of you who don't know, the plot of it is this, like, it's set in the future where people's minds are downloaded onto a chip in their head, so if they die or they're criminals, they can be stored away for however long and then put into a new body. So what you look like doesn't really matter much, but in the book he was a half white, half Asian man who died and gets put into a white body like 250 years later. So that's what they do in the show, and people are like, why wasn't he put into an Asian body? That's racist. Which is just stupid. They're keeping to the source material where race doesn't matter. Because anyone
I
can
hope
look
our
at...
listeners know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyone... I mean, Altered
I have no
Carbon's kind of
Yeah,
like blowing
I'm sorry.
up right
I
now.
kind of like faded out honestly 3 minutes ago. I don't know what the fuck
I'll
we're
stop
talking
ranting
about.
about shitty people getting angry about everything.
Okay.
That's
talk,
Okay,
man.
cool.
Fuck you guys. That is my
That's
weekly
our fault. We should have stopped you way earlier than that.
Yeah, you should have.
Yep.
All right. Well, that
Okay.
wraps up this episode of Six Pack Cinema. We'll see you guys next week with I, Tanya. Kick it to the outro.
So, yep.